No, my baby daddy did not stay the night in the hospital with us. Not at all. When I gave birth, I was 2 weeks over my due date. Yeah, so by the time I gave birth, I was big, fat, ugly, and tired. Let's say my rule allowed me to have 4 people in the room while I gave birth, but I only had 3. So the people that were in the room when I gave birth was my mom, my grandmother, and my baby daddy. I was supposed to get induced on Sunday, but I had a doctor's appointment on Friday, and they ended up sending me to labor and delivery. So my baby daddy was at work when I first went into my appointment, and they ended up keeping me. I wasn't in pain whatsoever. It wasn't bothering me. So I didn't know I was in labor, but I was in labor. So they kept me. I told him that. I'm like, you should be fine to finish your shift so you don't have to leave work, but then you come right after. This man did not come right after. And I just want to note that my mom too was at work, and she knew that she was coming. So she's like at work telling her people like, yeah, my daughter's in labor, so I might have to leave, but she's keeping me updated. My mom wasn't too far from my hospital, so like she could have stayed at work. She worked like a 12-hour shift. It was a really long shift, and I remember like, go home and get some rest, like I was telling her. And she's like, girl, no, you're about to have a baby. Why would I go home and get rest? And I was like, just go home, just go home. Like, I'll be fine. I'm not going to give birth yet. Not only did he not rush, he only worked a 4-hour shift that day. Not trying to knock his hustle, but it was only 4 hours. Then he went to go play basketball after. So I'm in labor. This man's playing basketball with his friends. I should have known from that moment that like everything else was just going to go downhill. He didn't rush to the hospital at all. My mom got there before him. When he got there, I'm in active labor. I'm in, about to push out the baby. He sleep. And I mean sleep. My mom just worked 12-hour shifts. She's sitting there. She's comforting me. She's helping me. She's getting me the ball. And everything that he was supposed to be doing as the dad, he was not doing. And that's when I also should have got a red flag. Yeah, my mom's doing everything. She's like putting pressure on my back, giving me the ball. She's giving me water. She's making sure I'm doing this. She's like telling the nurse everything, like everything. Okay? He slumped. And I mean extremely tired. Yeah, and I get it. Cool, we're about to be parents. Get as much sleep as you need so you can help me. Boy, did that take a huge turn. The whole time I'm pushing, he's there. He's up. But he's not really doing anything. Like, he's not really helping me. My mom and my grandma are holding my legs. I can't even imagine where he was. Like, I can't even tell you. He was there, but was he really there physically? I don't know. I'm pushing, sure, the baby's born. We're all fine. My grandma and my mom stay for a little, but they need to go home, clean up, get the house ready for us, change their clothes because they've been there since the beginning and all this stuff. They need to shower so they can come back. And mind you, I tore really bad. I got over 20 stitches from tearing. So I'm like really limited to what I can do. So I, at this point, need a lot of help. I just got off the epidural. My legs are still feeling kind of gooey. I just got stitches, so I'm like not feeling the best. And that's when I needed his support the most. He indeed did not support. As soon as my mom and them left, he laid back down in that little uncomfortable chair and fell right back to sleep. I'm laying there basically helpless. The rule in the hospital when you give birth is that you cannot sleep with your baby. You have to put the baby back in the bassinet because the risk of like dropping your baby after you give birth is like so high. So she couldn't sleep with me. I needed to put her back inside the bassinet, but the bassinet was across the room. So me, just had stitches, can't feel my legs too much. I'm not walking with my newborn baby. I'm screaming his name, screaming his name, screaming his name. Good morning, my love bug. Hello. Hello. He's so asleep that he didn't hear me calling for him. This is the first time this happened. Mind you guys, he slept all night. I should be asleep. You should be on baby duty right now because you sleep the whole night while I was in labor. You should be up and I should be asleep recovering from pushing out a baby. Yeah, that was not the case. I'm like calling his name. And as I'm calling his name, the nurse walks in. And she's like, he sleep? And that immediately was like embarrassing for me because like, duh, is he asleep? I love you. I was so embarrassed. I was like, yes, can you help me? Like, I just like, I don't know. And I don't like ask people for help. Like, but the fact that it was my newborn baby, I wasn't about to risk her and stand up and walk. She gets the baby from me. She helps me. She gets the baby. I loved all my nurses, I must say. I loved every last one of them. She grabbed the baby for me, put her in her bassinet, and was like, okay, I'm gonna have to get you up anyway because we gotta put you on your undergarments so you could go to the next room. So she gets me up and he wakes up. Like when the nurse comes in moving stuff around, banging things, like she's like, okay, we're gonna get you up and move you guys to the next room. So dad, you start collecting up all the stuff, get her ready to go to the next room. This man gets all of his stuff, but doesn't grab none of my stuff. Not at all. He didn't grab none of my stuff. The nurse, she's black, so understand that, like, she's gonna react like my mama was, because she, like, everybody in there was so cool. Like, they looked at me like I was their all baby. Like, they took care of me like I was a princess, as they should. Yeah, they're all taking care of me like they should, except for him. He should have been the one doing everything, like, above and beyond, because I just pushed out his child. And he only grabs his stuff. And then the nurse is like, you didn't grab nobody else's stuff but yours? Like, she's checking him, and I'm just sitting there like this whole time, just like, this is about to be terrible. Like, this is about to be terrible. Like, also, he didn't grab none of the baby stuff. Like, how do you think she's gonna go home? The baby's sleeping, so there's nothing he needs to do with the baby right now. She's in her bassinet, she's good. He just needs to get my stuff and her stuff and his stuff, so we go. He collects all the stuff, and we're going to the next room. The nurse gets me situated. She's telling me, like, I need you to do this, and that. It was time for her to eat again, so I have my baby in my arms again. He's back in that chair. Mind you, we're in a new room, so a new chair. Get out of my hair. You're hurting me. Thank you. I mean, he's in a new chair, and he's asleep immediately, y'all. He's asleep again. So here I am with my baby. And I get it. There's not much he can do. My baby's breastfed, so he couldn't feed her. She's done eating. She sleeps, so I need to get up to go use the bathroom. Mind you, I still have stitches. I don't feel comfortable walking her to the bassinet by myself because I was struggling to walk. I need to walk her to the bassinet. I needed to pee, and I was extremely tired. I was up all day and all night until the next day. I gave birth the next morning, so I was up all Friday. I was up Saturday until like 12 at this point. It's like 1 p.m. He's asleep. Here I am calling his name again, calling his name again, calling his name again, calling his name again. He's not waking up. I call my grandmother, and I'm like, are you guys close? Because, like, at this point, I'm about to start crying. Like, are you guys close? Because, like, I need help. And they was like, oh, where is da-da-da? And I'm like, he's asleep. He's not waking up. They was like, press the nurse button. Press the nurse button. And I was like, no, like, I'm not about to keep bothering them. Like, I'm not about to keep bothering them to do what he needs to be doing. So I'm like, how close are you guys? How close are you guys? And they're like, we're coming. Like, we're down the street. And I'm looking at their location. They're inside the parking garage. They just had to go through all the check-in and stuff like that. I'm like, I could thug it out. I could thug it out. I could do it. So I'm sitting here like this, like just rocking her, like patting her, like stressing, like I'm about to start crying, like I'm going through it. As soon as they walked in the door, I burst into tears. And they're like, oh my God, what's wrong? Because I don't cry, y'all. I don't cry. Like, to see me cry is a lot. So they're like, oh my God, what's wrong? What happened? And I was like, I'm just so tired and I needed help. She's laughing at me. And then they look at me, then they look at him. He's still asleep. Then he's like, what happened? Because he sees me crying. He's like, what's wrong? And I just say nothing. I just need to use the bathroom. My grandmother immediately washes her hair and grabs the baby. I'm in the bathroom, using the bathroom, and I'm sitting on the toilet, and I'm thinking, like, this is about to be a terrible night if he's just gonna sleep the whole time and not help me. So, make me the bad guy, I don't care, but no, my baby daddy did not stay the night in the hospital with us. Not at all. And the crazy thing is that it resulted into, like, her being 9 months, and he's never spent the night with his daughter. I don't know if I'm at fault for that. I mean, after the hospital, it was fair game. He didn't step up like he needed to, I want to say, even though we were still in a relationship at the time. So in the hospital, I ended up staying for 3 days, if I'm not mistaken. He did not spend a night with the baby whatsoever, because every time he had the chance to be with the baby, he would sleep or at the food court. I made the motherly decision and knew that I needed extra help. I needed somebody that was going to be there to help me. So I chose my mother and my grandmother to stay a night with me. My grandmother stayed the first night, and then my mom stayed the next night. And he came back each day. They spent the days with us, but he just wasn't staying a night with us. And while he was there, he wasn't really, like, helping much. Yeah, so I knew that when I needed help throughout the night, that I wanted somebody that could help me there. If you guys want to know my preeclampsia story about what he did, Comment. That one's actually kind of funny. He did not come to the hospital at all when I was possibly dying. I was honestly expecting a lot of hate on my last video. I was like, on my last story time, I want to say. I was expecting you guys to eat me up and say things like, why you try to baby by this man? Like, I thought I was going to be fighting for my life in them comments, but y'all are very much supportive. And because of that, I'm going to give you guys another story time. And this one's not really a story time. This is just a disclaimer for the girls out there that are single moms and young moms like me. Okay. Yeah, so this is for the young moms because I was honestly at a loss. I thought that I couldn't leave him because if I left him, I was going to be single and miserable and nobody was going to want me because I had a baby and I was so young. You know, that's what he told me. He said, you're messing up your idea of a family. Nobody's going to want you because you have a baby. Little did he know, everybody want me. I wish I was kidding. But yeah, no, I'm happy without that man. Like, I'm so glad that I left when I left because like life has been great for me. I'm happy. I love my new man. Like, I'm not never going back to that man. Like, I cannot stress that enough. If y'all would have seen me about a few months ago, y'all would be like, oh girl, you down bad. Because like, I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't happy with myself. I had just had a baby. I was fat. Like, I'm skinny again. Yeah. That's it. That's all I want to tell y'all is that it did get better. Like, I was so scared to that relationship. I thought I was like gonna have to stay with him even though he cheated on me with a man. Okay, it wasn't a man, but the girl looked like a man, so it might as well have been a man. Anyways, I just thought I was gonna have to stay with him. And I thought that every man was out to play me. I thought I wasn't gonna be outside. I thought all these negative things. Girl, if you're feeling your soul to dreams to that man, if your dreams are telling you that he's cheating on you, and you see it in your dreams to that man, and if you praying to God to reveal the truth, and he is revealing the truth, and you are not leaving that man, he's gonna keep revealing stuff, and it's gonna give you more reasons to leave that man. So just leave that man the first time you get the chance, okay? Because that's what I did. I gave him one chance after the baby was born to get it together. Because you know, you had 9 months to get your life together while I was pregnant, and you didn't. So, you see, that's why I just be like, don't give these men no, like, especially the dads, don't give them no chances. Okay, maybe one chance is okay, but just that. Because if you think about it, you mentally preparing to push out your baby for 9-10 months, 41 weeks, 40 weeks, 39 weeks, 32. Whenever you have your baby, you are preparing for your life to change dramatically. They're out having fun at the club with their friends, lollygagging, lying to girls like they're not about to have a baby. Why you sitting in the house being miserable? What is that? So why they got all this preparing to do while you're preparing to push out your baby? They should be preparing too. Getting their money stacked up, preparing to buy formula, diapers, all this stuff that they're not doing. So when that baby get here and they slip up one time and mess up, because what I grant is you will be okay. You're gonna be okay by yourself or with the new man or with the new woman, whatever you like, you are going to be okay. Your baby is going to be fine. Just prioritize yourself, your baby, and God, and you guys will be fine. You guys will be fine, okay? So if you needed a sign to leave the man that's not helping you take care of your baby, and for all you women that are married and in a relationship and you're still a single mother, leave him, because a man's going to come through for you. And let me tell you, you ain't gonna have to worry about nothing. Nothing. We are on God's to-do list in 2024. You single moms, you're on his to-do list. It's about to be a good year, y'all. So if you want it to be a good year for you too, leave him. Start that business you wanted to start. Go to that club that you wanted to go to while you was pregnant, but you couldn't drink. Do what you want to do. Like, it's your life, and you can let that man dictate what you can do and can't do. I'm so glad I freed myself from that relationship. And I could sit on here and tell y'all countless stories, endless stories, many stories about the things I've put myself through with that man while I was pregnant, after the baby born, to this day, yesterday. Like, I could just keep telling y'all stuff, but like, what is that gonna get me? Not gonna get her a better dad.